TCI has introduced a lot of new products for S197 Mustang since they first hit the showrooms in 2005, and one of their latest items is the StreetFighter Ratchet shifters for the Mustang's 5R55S automatic transmission. The stock shifter is fine for cruising around town, but for serious performance use, the StreetFighter is in a class by itself. The StreetFighter Ratchet shifter fits right into the Mustang's console and hooks up to the factory automatic transmission without modification using the stock shifter cable. An LED illuminated display on the base shows the current gear selection, and the overdrive button is moved from the side of the handle to the shifter base. The positive stop ratchet mechanism lets you manually speed shift the transmission without accidentally missing gears, and the lockout handle prevents overshooting into neutral or reverse while banging up shifts. It's NHRA legal for drag racing use, but even when you're just leaving the transmission in drive for a cruise around town, the StreetFighter's billet appearance is a perfect match for the interior of current generation Mustangs. Now that we've told you about the TCI StreetFighter shifter, let's review the installation. To get more clearance to remove the interior trim panels, the stock shifter needs to be in drive. Turning the ignition key to the run position lets you take the transmission out of park. Be sure to set the parking brake as well. Back inside, the first piece to come off is the shift bezel, which can be carefully pried up at both ends and on the sides to avoid breaking it. The centre console is actually two pieces. The top piece comes off first by removing the two screws under the armrest at the back. Work the armrest carefully over the parking brake handle and set it aside. Once the top part of the console is off, the side panels that extend under the dash can be removed by pulling them toward the back of the car and upward. Now the bottom of the console can be removed. There are two bolts at the front and two nuts inside the console under the armrest. Disconnect the power jack inside the console, then lift the console over the shifter and parking brake handle. Now it's time to go underneath the car. The StreetFighter shifter connects to the existing shifter cable just like the stock shifter does, so take a look at the way it's arranged before disconnecting anything. You'll need to remove the stock cable, then you can go back inside the car and remove the stock shifter. The StreetFighter mounts with the same nuts and bolts you just took out, carefully tightened in a crisscross pattern to 80 inch-pounds. Be careful during this step, since over-torquing or uneven tightening will damage the shifter base. The TCI shifter should be in drive position, so you can go back under the car and attach the shifter cable to the bracket and the end of the cable to the arm on the new shifter. To check the function of the new shifter, you'll have to reconnect the battery. The ignition key should still be in the run position, so verify that the LED display on the shifter for D is illuminated. Then pull the reverse lockout lever on the new shifter and cycle the transmission into neutral, reverse and park, then run through the gears to make sure it moves smoothly. Put the shifter back into drive, then replace the console and side panels in reverse order. With everything buttoned back up, we adjusted the shifter handle to fall right into the palm of your hand, then took the StreetFighter out for a test run. Unlike the stock shifter that can overshoot a gear when manually shifting, the TCI StreetFighter uses a ratchet mechanism that lets you bang up and down shifts one gear at a time without missing. The reverse lockout mechanism means you can't accidentally go into neutral, reverse or park, and makes the StreetFighter legal for drag racing competition. The best part about TCI StreetFighter is that around town you can just leave it in drive and cruise, just like the stocker. But when it's time to rock and roll, you've got the advantage of positive manual shift control.